Coach. Nice run rule there tonight. Obviously, the wind was in effect. The ball was doing some crazy things. But just talk us through your takeaways from tonight.
Well, I thought, I thought we were given a lot. Obviously, they had 7 errors, and looks like they walked about 10 guys. So we were given a lot, but we've gotten a lot before, and I thought we stood in the box a little bit better tonight. Obviously, Chase with the big home run, and Jackie Bell. I thought that was on a 3-1 pitch where he didn't try to get too big. I thought he stayed to the middle of the field, and obviously the wind helped it out a ton. But we walked too many guys. But I thought Louis, was really good. Obviously, the start wasn't the way he wanted to. Gave up first pitch, base hit. Next pitch was an error, and then next thing you know, it could have got sideways a little bit, but limited it to a 2. And then, after that, I thought it was okay. But I mean, like I said, we needed to play, and these are conditions that we're going to play in other ballparks around the country in our conference for sure. So it's about understanding and dealing with, conditions like they were tonight, and be able to be a little bit more offensive, which we were, which was nice to see. To be able to put up a 5 spot and a 4 spot back-to-back innings, and to run rule somebody is obviously awesome.
What do you think about Stern in that last inning? Puts 2 guys on base. You go out and have a conversation with him. Looks like he settles down after that.
Well, I think sometimes, we're the enemy of ourselves sometimes. I thought when he's under control and not trying to do too much, his location and his fastball plays, and then all of a sudden, when he gets a little like he thinks he needs to go do something more, then all of a sudden his command gets erratic, and then all of a sudden he's not in the strike zone. So just went out there to remind him that, hey, get behind the baseball, and when you're doing what you need to do and not trying to do too much, you're really good. And you're giving them opportunities to be able to hit one up in the air. Next thing you know, it changes the complexity of the game, and then we could have to get somebody else up in the bullpen with a game tomorrow and 3 on the weekend. So sometimes I think players don't think that, probably big picture, but for me, it's anytime you don't want to get somebody up in a 17-6 game, but you also want to finish the game in the 7th inning. So, for him, I thought his fastball played really well. He threw a couple really good breaking balls, and kind of wiggled out of that one inning with first and second nobody on, and did a good job.
Seems like you guys had just some more energy on offense. How much of a factor do you think that played?
Well, I think the wind played a factor in that, because I think the hitters know that all they have to do is get one up in the air and hit decently well, and they have a pretty good chance of the ball flying through a gap or over the fence. So I think that brings a ton of energy to an offense in these conditions. And but I thought probably the big thing for me was probably a 3-minute period in the game where Anthony Silva dove for a ball in the 6 hole and with 2 outs, and didn't allow the guy from second to score. And then we got the next guy out, and then he led off the very next inning with probably one of his better at-bats this year in terms of staying on it and lining the ball to right field. So that, those are big things for me. Obviously, everybody sees the home runs, but kind of the little nuances of a game where, people don't really see it in a box score, but, I forget what the score was at the time, but maybe we were up 8 or 9. But for him to lay out to keep a guy from scoring, that's championship baseball. And then just like baseball always happens, that guy that makes that sort of play gets the at-bat the next inning and does a really good job and hits a rocket to right.
Speaking of Anthony, he's scuffled a little bit to start the year at the plate, but we're swinging the bat much better as of late.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we know about the glove. Just how important is his kind of veteran presence on this team since it's so young?
Yeah, and I think, you're never going to have a great team unless you have kind of great players up the middle. You feel like catching position, shortstop, center fielder, and so we were really good. The second third or the last 2/3 of the year in 23, and a lot of it had to do with Carson Bowen and Anthony Silva. And then those guys tonight, it's just kind of like a calming, steadying influence when you have guys that have kind of been through the battles and understand what we're trying to do. And to be able to, and then you have another guy up the middle with Cole Kramer, who's been around the block, maybe not here, but has played a lot of college baseball. So you feel really good about kind of a steady presence with those two guys up the middle and Carson behind the plate.
All right, Anthony, talk us through the game tonight. Obviously, some pretty interesting conditions out there, making the ball do some funny stuff, but you barreled up a couple good ones, made some really nice plays out at shortstop. What were you feeling like tonight?
Yeah, all glory to God. I've been trusting the Lord this whole season, and it's been a big thing for me so far. It's a little bit of a slow start, but continue to trust him and praying to him, and he's gotten me through a lot, and I'm going to continue to trust him and also my teammates as well. They've helped me through a lot, and I wouldn't be able to do this without them as well.
Jack Bell made some really nice plays this past weekend. How's it been with him in the infield?
It's been great. I mean, Jack Bell and we both grew up in Texas together, kind of not really playing against each other, but we've both known who we both are, and it was cool when he came here at first, and I knew we were going to see some playing time together on the field, and it's great. We're throwing partners, so that's always good, and he's just a great energy to have around, and yeah, he's a great guy, great teammate, on and off the field, picks everyone up whenever they need it, so he's great. It's been awesome.
Percentage Jack Bell, percentage wind on that home run tonight.
That's all Jack Bell. I didn't see any wind when he swung the bat, so.
When you're given so much, like the 7 errors from Air Force tonight, a bunch of walks, does that change your approach at the plate at all, or are you still just trying to find a pitch to hit?
Yeah, I mean, just still trying to find a pitch to hit, but just take advantage of the other team's mistakes, whoever it might be, because in maybe a closer game, the other team makes maybe only 1 error, and we got to capitalize on that, and that might be the run that makes us win or lose the game. So, yeah, just capitalizing on every mistake, and that's what good teams do, and I'm glad that we were able to do that tonight.
You talk about Jack Bell at third base. Cole Kramer's another guy who's played a lot of baseball, and he's new here this year. Just talk about his presence in the infield.
Oh, he's awesome. We call him Unc because he's the old veteran guy, but we all give him crap for it. But he's a great energy to have around, kind of like an uncle to everybody. Honestly, he's been around the block, and he's just great. Gets the team together. He's a great leader as well. Even though he's new, he's taken over one of the leadership roles on the team, which is really great to see, and it's awesome.
All right, Chase, you hit a couple balls hard tonight. I think the line out to center was 107 EV, and then your home run was 104. Just how well are you seeing the baseball at the plate right now?
Yeah, I've seen it a lot better. I kind of got away from it my second AB, but the first AB, obviously, just being on time with the fastball. Just kind of worked on that this past week just to get myself on time and find a pitch I could drive. And I was able to do that the first AB, so I just kind of took that the rest of the game. And, saw a fastball later in the game and was able to obviously put a ball over, so that felt good. But, yeah, just sticking with the approach and finding a fastball to drive. So I was able to do that tonight.
Kirk talked a lot this weekend about just taking stuff away from opposing pitchers, whether that's timing up the fastball or laying off stuff out of the zone. How did you feel the team's approach was to doing that tonight compared to maybe this weekend?
Yeah, it was definitely a lot better. Thought there was a lot of really good ABs. Guys were getting a lot of walks. I feel like we did a good job just spitting on the off speed tonight, and seeing a lot more pitches and just driving balls when they're there for us. And I think just continue to do this tomorrow night and just grow from tonight. I think we just did a really good job as a team just swinging the bat. So.
You had a mishap in center field early in the game.
Mm-hmm.
How reassuring was it for not only the other players on the team to kind of give the offensive boost, but to do it yourself with that home run later?
Yeah, I need that. Obviously, it was tough out there, but just having my guys got my back no matter what, and just this team's close. They got confidence in me no matter what. So it felt really good just to get those 3 runs back after making a little mistake out there. So. Yeah, that just felt great just to get the team back to where we were. So
I know it's home field and you've got some experience here, but when the wind is doing what it was doing tonight, just how big of a challenge is it out there?
Yeah, it was probably one of the hardest conditions I've played out in the outfield, just in terms of seeing everything. You got the wind just blowing right in your face, hard, the ball moving everywhere out there. So I mean, there's no excuses to it. I think you just got to play how the conditions are, but I think we did a good job. The rest of the time, just making the plays that were at us, and obviously the conditions that's not a usual Lupton condition, so it was nice having the ball blow out tonight. But I think here in about a week it'll probably go back to its original blowing back in a little bit. So it definitely was nice to have a little breeze out there today, though.
What needs to happen tomorrow to get the dub tomorrow?
Just the same thing we did tonight. Just continue to have good ABs and pitchers throw strikes. And to just continue to go out there and try to win a ball game.